Hi, my name is Matt. I'm from London, Ontario. I suffer from two gut problems. I have celiac disease and gut dysbiosis.
My name is Marianne. I live in St. Thomas, Ontario, and I suffer from abdominal adhesions caused by surgery.
Hi, my name is Dr. Scott Westlake, and I'd like to take an opportunity to talk to you about silver lining and my experience using it in my family.
Hi, I'm Linda from Everwell Health in Caledonia, Ontario. I'm here to talk to you about silver lining. I was first introduced to silver lining by Terry Bell, a Showtie practitioner and my teacher.
I experienced gut issues that should have been dealt with. They should have been over. I was getting a number of tests done by doctors where nothing would turn up. It just seemed that, I should be okay, but I continued to experience gut issues, joint issues, and a general lack of energy. Particularly with celiac, doctors had a difficult time diagnosing me. I was sick every day. My stomach felt bad every morning, very, very low energy, and I was having difficulty with my studies. I was doing my master's degree at the time. And these were all the result of damage done by me being celiac and not knowing.
Well, about 9 years ago, I woke up in the middle of the night with severe pains, cramps, and I had no idea what it was. And so I was admitted to the hospital and told I had adhesions, which is the first I've ever heard of it. And so they kept me there for 11 days with no food or drink. I mean, I was on intravenous and nothing to eat for 11 days. After 7 days, they did surgery, and there was a kink in my bowel. It was just bent over like a garden hose. So then about 3 years later, I had a similar reaction, and this time I didn't have to have surgery. It corrected itself. So it's been 9 years I've been suffering with adhesions, and it's not any fun because you can't eat what you want to eat. You can't, any little bit of stress, and so it's no fun. And since I've been taking the silver lining, it seems to have helped me.
My son Duncan is 21 years old, and Duncan has cerebral palsy. Duncan's really severely affected by CP, and most doctors would classify him or call him medically fragile. And for Duncan, when he experiences the flu, it's actually quite a difficult thing. We have a hard time controlling his fluid intake. If he got the flu 3-4 times in a year, we would end up hospitalized and on intravenous fluids once a year. And an intravenous fluid administration usually for Duncan involves a week in the hospital. It's a very trying time supporting him in that environment. It's difficult for our family, and most particularly for Duncan, it's extremely uncomfortable.
Since I've had silver lining in my store, the positive feedback has been phenomenal. The results have been crazy. So I was given 1 bottle of silver lining myself. I brought it home and tried it. And I would say within a week of trying silver lining, my digestive tract felt 100% better.
I started taking silver lining 2 months ago, and by about 6 weeks, I had started to notice a difference in my energy levels and my overall stomach health. Additionally, my acid reflux was gone. I've tried other probiotics, and unfortunately, even after a few months, 6-7 months at a time, I didn't experience the results I was looking for.
For the last 30 days, I've been taking silver lining, and I seem to find that I've had less trouble digesting fiber, and for some reason, I just have less pain, and the only thing I can contribute it to is silver linings.
Customers I've given it to, they've had diverticulitis. It has actually killed off the diverticulitis. They've gone to the doctors for their yearly checkup, and there's no diverticulitis left. It's gone.
When we heard about silver lining, we thought, well, it sounds pretty good. It sounds maybe like it's something worth considering trying. And so we've put Duncan on silver lining. He takes it every day, always. We're administering other medications as well, so it's fits well into his whole medication regimen. And I think Duncan's been on silver lining now 4 years approximately. He would still get the flu probably once through the course of a year. Once in the winter, he'd get the flu. Generally, it's not as pronounced as what he would have encountered in the past. And we haven't had to hospitalize him and put him on IV fluids since we started him on silver lining.
I had a young girl in here, 17 to 18 years old. She came in, she couldn't eat. She actually hadn't ate for 3 weeks. She had been to doctors, specialists, and nothing for her situation was helping. I told her that she should try silver lining right away. In about 1 to 2 weeks later, she came in, and when she seen me, she started to cry. I thought, oh no, what's wrong? She says, "You saved my life." We were both crying. It was very emotional. She says, "I can eat." She says, "I've ate since I've taken the silver lining." And she says, "I really thought I was going to die." She said, "I am so thankful for silver lining." Another one had been on a high dose of antibiotics. Actually, it was IV. So I told her she actually needed prebiotics and probiotics definitely to get in there because they wiped off all the good bacteria in her system plus the bad. And I would say after a month's time of being on, I think she took 4 capsules a day of silver lining. She felt amazingly better. I had a gentleman come in with these large sores all over his body. They were almost like boils, but the doctor said they weren't boils. So I put him on the silver lining, and he took that. His wife came in probably 6 weeks later, and she said the boils or the large sores had almost dried right up. The redness was gone, and they weren't itching, they weren't swelled anymore.
Well, I couldn't eat any vegetables or fruits, you know, and especially high roughage stuff like cabbage or even gassy stuff. So it just seemed that in the last month, especially in this time of year when there's so much of it available, and you do tend to eat more of it, this is when I have more of my problems, that it just seemed to be, I couldn't believe it, it was better. And so no pain, and just relatively normal. Not completely, because I still have the adhesions and I'll always have them, but you know, you have to learn to live with them, and it seemed to help me a lot. So I would recommend silver lining to anyone.
I'm completely comfortable with promoting the use of really high quality probiotics on a dairy farm. So of course I'm really comfortable in making use of high quality probiotic like silver lining in my son Duncan, in my whole family. And I think everybody should be considering the use of high quality probiotic silver lining.
I've always tried to have unique and high quality products like silver lining in my store. That's something we've always thrived on when we've brought in products into our store.
I was an international level power lifter and was very sensitive to levels of diet, issues of diet, and had a good team around me of professionals to help out. And one thing they recommended was finding a great probiotic, and I did. So, thanks.
I don't have any science to say that silver lining is the reason why Duncan doesn't encounter the severity of gastrointestinal upset and hospitalization for that. But I can tell you this, there's no way that I would take him off it. Duncan will be on silver lining always.
So I want to thank Silver Lining for giving it to my daughter, who gave it to me, and so I'm so thankful.